Well, so we are just about to start. So we were proposing to have some alignment here. So just breathing, maybe closing the eyes gently, not if you're driving. And see and feel the figure of light. And let's start to breathe. Hold it. Just for 3 times. Breathe in again. Hold it. Breathe out. One more time. Hold it. Now we can open the eyes gently as well. We are now fully present. All these amazing, beautiful people, soulmates, tribe. Pick your name. Livia is in the house as well. Hi, Livia. Where are you calling from? Hi, where are you calling from? Where are you calling from? Where are you? Yes. At home. Okay, yes. We are all at home now because we are all together here. Yeah. Thank you for reminding us that we are at home now. Okay, so we are starting. So this uh, sort of presentation call is going to be participative. So I'm going to be the playmaker, let's say, like the host, but I'm going to share the ball. Don't you be too much worried. It's going to be a nice play. So here is a small mini agenda. The intention for our time together. We're going to go through some stages to build up the energy. Please, just for housekeeping reasons, keep your mics mute while you're not talking, please. So I'll be calling some of you to, participate in this gathering, let's say. Then we'll go through understanding a bit more about organic governance. And we got some surprises as well. And let's see if we are ready to play. That there'll be some sort of mystery here. We are coming from a school of mystery, So anyway, let's start. Let's go. Let's go for it. Okay. I'm gonna call my dear Yvette to read this for us, because this gratitude and intention and emergence is to do with reminding us why we are here. Okay? So, Yvette, would you do us the honor to read this passage, please? Thank you so much, my dear lady. Okay, We are now getting into this state of mind. Now, my dear brother, the Druid, Enrique, can you please read this for us? So, with this, we are just remembering when we were in Canet, we were doing the ceremony and we were doing all of this stuff. So this is a good way to set up the table for what is coming now. The intention, all of this is brought from stuff that we already sensed and felt. Okay, so it's nothing. Everything is just a reminder. So this is coming from the last calls that we've been holding after Canet. Okay, so now we set. Okay, and we also have on the table that also were rising from these meetings. Here they are. You already know this is being in the different sharings. Do we want to stay as a group in concentric circles? What role do we each want to play or feel to play, to contribute, continue, self-organize? All of these questions are there. I think it's important to keep that in mind, because the idea of this exercise is try to see how we can get together and bring the collective energy into bringing down and grounded some of the answers to these questions. Okay, so this is organic governance. I know for the forms that some of you already know a little bit about it, some of you never heard of it. So this topic could be really complex, but I want to make it really simple and not trying to bring a masterclass or here, but just very clear concept. So for this call, just listen in an active and deep way, and try to gather the concepts that can stay with you. Let's not get stuck into our preconditioning or our bias or anything else. Just trust the process. And then if there are questions, then maybe some question may arise, let's leave that for the end, because we will be progressing to understand more and more and better what is all of this about, okay? And also to avoid disruption because of the being conscious of time. So this one, as you can see, the organic governance is based on a more circular, cellular way to get organized, okay? We were talking about the structures like vertical, horizontal, and now this one, circular. As you can see, it's very simple. It seems a little bit sophisticated, but it's so simple. It's like nature works, like our bodies work. We got trillions of cells working together, and we got the privilege to be able to breathe every day, to walk. So this is mimicking what nature does. Here, the some of the things that you can see here is organized in circles. Okay, the circles normally are related to domains instead of departments or whatever. There is within these structures, all the circles are self-organized. And then there is a governance, which is this anchor, where normally representatives of the circles are coming together to make sure that the whole organization, organism, community, company, depending what you apply in this, is, the vision and the purpose are always in good shape. Okay. So as you see here, there is this more central piece where you can bring the people of the community. Everybody will be in a circle, let's say, but then you can have around some sort of fellowship where you can interact with certain people. Then we'll apply this to our cohort, and we'll also see how this could be actually adapted. Okay. In this case, we got the cohort, we got the other cohorts, or the other potential fellows, like tutors, trainees, facilitators, etc., etc. And around that, there is this companionship space where you got a broader relational field with other people that can become companions, or can become what normally now we call partners, or freelance, or collaborators, whatever we want to call it. But the real simple thing here is this very organic way to get organized. Okay. And I wanted just for you to keep this picture in mind. We are now gonna see and develop more all of this. So a circle, as we said, is based on domains. It could be in an organization or a company having similar names, marketing or finance or whatever. Normally, these organizations are bringing their own terminology. We can call it, we see people, planet, purpose, presence. It's important that they are self-managed, so there is not like hierarchical, unless the circle itself wants to organize like that, because this is not exclusive. You can use, depending on the circle, the priorities, the domain, you can use which sort of decision mode you want to use. And some of them might be actually saying, this one, we need someone who knows better, and we keep that some sort of hierarchical structure. So it's not about excluding anything, it's about integrating. It's also important to say that the roles don't belong to people, they belong to the organization or the community, in a way that you can play different roles. Sometimes maybe there is only one person for one role, but you are not the owner of that role. Okay, that is very important. There is no ownership on roles. It could be accountability when you are doing things, but not ownership. And the roles are rotational. That's the reason as well. You can rotate roles because it's not, no one owns the role. And then the members can have voice and vote, okay, in different ways. It could be suggestions, it could be proposals, it could be gatherings, meetings, different ways, on that. It is also important that all voices are not only heard, but facilitating the way that voices are heard, okay, with creating safer spaces, with self-facilitation and sense-making, okay? A very important thing is the active listening. And active listening meaning, as you know, not just as we normally do, but trying to avoid these bias, judgment, and prejudice that we all carry. How we do that? We already know. There are people, the Presencing Institute, MIT, saying there are 4 levels of listening. We already learn in the school, try to go to your subtle and inner senses and be in presence. And then is when we are actually into this level of listening. And this is important because circles will be evolving, and the evolution of the circle is, and the decision making of the circle, you can decide the decision mode, the unity quorum or cycles, how often you meet and everything. It will be getting into higher levels of coherence, connection, and resonance when you are actually practicing this active listening. And then it could be another way to measure the intangibles, which is not only about contributions, quantitative contributions, but that level of connection. As the circle is evolving, you will get more and more levels of consensus, and that is also important in this. And then you can vote when you are again in this sort of dance. Then things will happen in a different way. Okay. Now, the vote, decision modes. The vote normally have two layers. Unity is the percentage of votes up to 100%. We already know all of that. And quorum. Quorum is important to say, okay, so in a group of 10 people, let's say that minimum quorum is 50%. So in order to vote for any proposal or anything that we are deciding, minimum has to be 5 people. You can vary all of this depending on the circle. Everything is flexible. You can vary that normally on cycles. Let's say if one circle is meeting every week or every month or every lunar cycle, like in some communities, they can decide to modify that depending on the decision that they are dealing with or something that improves the current relationship. So what are the different levels of decision mode? And this is also an important piece. The voice was one of them and the vote the other one. Normally, there is these three modes: consensus, consent, and majority. Consensus, as we know, is everybody agrees. And then you can say what is the minimum number of people that have to be present to validate that vote. Consent is not everybody agrees, but no one has a red flag. So they consent that the decision is going ahead. Again, you can put a quorum here. It could be the same, 50%, or it could be a little bit higher. All of this is, again, adaptable. And then majority, we also know majority is 51%. But you can also say that for you, majority is going to be minimum 60%. Everything, again, is flexible, and the quorum as well. I think these three modes are, and in some of the communities I was participating, those were like the default, like saying we got a chain in the voting, trying to sense if the circle is in higher levels of coherence. Normally, most of the voting were on consensus, but if it's not, you jump in a second round to try consent, and if it's not, in a third round for majority. Those were the default modes. A chain to avoid to stop progress. But then we got these others that we can just have a look. Normally, those you can also sense if it's important or not in different circles. Pareto is similar to consent, and is like what we did in Canet. If you are happy with something 8 out of 10, that means that can go ahead. And then you leave 20% to potential improvement. A golden vote, we also know, golden vote, in case there is 50-50, maybe someone that is the host or whoever you decide in the group has a golden vote and can decide one way or another. The basic is also something that we use with when the circles are starting and there is only there are not many people, or there's not, it's not a lot of important decisions or no priorities. Then you can have a very low vote percentage, and quorum. But it's also a way to start some circles and to still making progress, even if there is only a few people. Okay, so for a little while, I think, again, it may be a lot of information, but I think, as I said, now we are fully present. If there are questions, we can try to answer that after this exercise. This is like practicing what we just learned. And these are some questions that were also raised. Now, as I said, the chain is a first round. We're going to try to see if we are in high level of coherence or not. Then we'll try consent, and then majority. So let's try this. So one of the question is self-organizing and maintaining our container plus other ways of continuing this work. In this group, now you are now in the governance, and you gotta decide yes or no to this. Irrespective of, having questions or this and that, what is your inner sense telling you? Okay. Woo! Congratulations. Let's see. So we got a high level of coherence here. We got this self-organizing and maintaining our container by other ways of continuing this work. Consensus. Let's go to the next question. All consensus as well? Oh my God. Good. Okay. 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 All right. So see that maybe this question is not, ready to have a sort of voting. It has to be separated. So we could do that, let's say staying in the lightened network. Okay. One question, let's vote that. Paola, can you help me out? Good. And great. Okay, congrats again. And now, setting our intention to consider whether they are aligned with us. Okay, here we don't have consensus. That's good. That's good. Now, let's see if there is consent. The people who are saying no have some sort of red flag or not? Okay, red flags. As soon as there is a red flag, then there is no consent. So it doesn't matter if anyone else saying yes or not. Now, so the third way to vote will be majority. Now we are 12 people here. We need now to see how many are thumbs up and how thumbs down. And then we'll decide if that is going ahead or not. So please, now the third round, thumbs up or thumb down. The same one, setting our intention to consider whether they are aligned with us. Now we are voting the third round in majority. This is the exercise. We are trying to see if by majority this is passing or not. So don't stay too much into this. So Please, Paola, help me out. Everybody's thumbs down. Okay. Okay, fine. Well, congratulations as well, because I think there is a consensus here on the other side. Consensus could be also no. Okay? So so we can say that this practice is being quite successful. We are all fully present, we are all fully aligned, and we got this consensus in all of them. Ready to play? I'm gonna play something. I'm gonna play something. Yes, I think we are ready after this. Uh, okay, this was some sort of inspirational stuff, but I feel that we are actually very high level of coherence. So let's play. Remember, kids principle: keep it deeply simple, clear, simple, and joyful. Guys, connect with the kid that you got inside. Now, emergency. 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 Okay, who can help me to read this? Ravi, go ahead. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ravi. I'm going to give just a few seconds for people to get into the role. Now we are playing roles here. Um, this was supposed to happen in Connect, but okay, let's adjust. Here, a challenge that normally in these sort of organizations, they call it quest. Okay? Now, we got to use these sort of structures. Okay, this is like a canvas, the operating system canvas. We can call it our hard intelligence. Normally, we have to build up all of this: purpose, planet, presence, people, vision, mission, journey, cohort, why, what, how, who. We sort of did something in Connect about this, but in order to make this exercise more dynamic, because of the time, we're gonna say that we thanks to this we had 3 circles. Okay, this is just like the assumptions, and the circles are planet, presence, and people that we took as our domains for our organizational chart in a circular way. Okay, so now there is we gotta do this prototype. Okay, and I'm gonna read what is the what we have to do. So based on the organic governance structure, explore the practice, the program, who is involved, and a roadmap for the next 3 weeks, 3 months, and 3 years. You can use the basic structure of these 3 circles: people, present, and planet, to serve this quest. Okay? Now, we're going to go one by one. As you can see here, is like in the structure that we were looking at earlier. We got these 3 domains. people, planet, and presence. The governance will be the one in to keep this purpose, the vision, the domains, everything. But now we are going to concentrate in these three circles, and we again are going to have we're going to go for a decision mode, and we're going to try to answer some questions. Okay. Here, people circle. Explore who is involved and shall co-create the prototype. So, who is holding the flame within our cohort? Shall we consider a fellowship with other cohorts, tutors, trainees, and facilitators? Let's, for example, Alanja, Jamie, other people. Shall we open a conversation with the sponsors, including Lighten, to set our intention? Now, again here, imagine that we gotta decide on this, okay? Who is involved? Now we gotta start again a voting process. Normally in this exercise, to again making it more dynamic, we are gonna keep that chain, you know? We could actually play different things like now in this one we think that is more is good enough to be in consent or whatever. You that keep that in mind, but we are going to keep that consensus, consent, a majority. Okay, so let's go ahead. Now we got another uh, consensus. Good. We are keeping the coherence high. Now the next question. Let's separate the questions. So tutor trainees and facilitators. It seems that for everybody. Is that all right? Please. Yeah. And cohorts, you got a red flag, Paola, or you can everybody say no. So consensus again in no. Okay, good. We're keeping that. Now, Lucia, can you read the question, please? Okay, thank you. So for this quest, we might need resources. We can have our own resources, or we can approach some sponsors. It doesn't have to be just Lighten, okay? But Lighten is there. um, Again, two questions. Okay, setting the intention with the sponsors. Let's go. Setting the intention with the sponsors. Okay, good. And 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 what about Lighten? Now here is not that clear. No, there is yes and no. No. So let's good. It's good because we are practicing. So now let's go to the second thing. People that are saying no, they got red flags. Yes, credit's got red flag for sure. Kiran is got red flag. Okay, good. Now, okay, okay. Being conscious of time. Let's move on. So this one would go to the third round, majority. So now we need to count. Please put thumbs up or down, and then we will count in majority. Try again, please. The same question about Lighten. Please thumbs up or down because it was like some sort of. Paola, help me out. Okay, so phew, well, I got the golden vote. I would say yes. Yeah. No, this for the purpose of this exercise, we gotta prototype something for a reason. So don't think now that we are gonna ask them for whatever we were thinking a while ago. So is we got a mission here. We got to prototype something, and we will need resources. So that's why. So the next circle about presence. Okay, so presence. Who is not? Who didn't say anything yet? Uh, Grace, can you read the first, please? Thank you. So now the presence is more about, as we read earlier, what we want to prototype. Explore the journey to balance inner work and outer world. Um, so, so a balanced program like with the inner world that we've been training already, and also um, covering that gap between being in Connect and and going to our business as usual. Maybe there is something in the middle, a balance program. That is the thing there. Do we want to prototype something like that, or maybe we just want to keep on doing the inner work and that's it? So is that clear? Hmm? Okay, not for you. Uh, yeah, because of the quest is requesting something that it could be workable and applied to real life. If the program has to be just doing inner work, as we normally were doing there, that seems a little bit as a bubble, or making a hybrid program, bringing also more other skills to make it applicable to the quest. Okay, let's start the voting. Yes or no? Paula, yes? No? Seems yes? Good. Oh, Matt is in the room. Matt. Hey, good to see you, Matt. Okay, well, welcome. Again, let's keep on going. I don't know if some of you can stay a little bit longer than with past the hour. Otherwise, um, thank you for coming. So combine inner alchemy. So this is actually going to what sort of more precisely we are talking about. We was more on the inner work, could be inner alchemy, more and surrender leadership, and stewardship skills could be the other part. Like more real life application. Um, do we want something like that as the framework? Yes, Paola. Good. um, and testing waters with a broader audience, fellowship audience, like, well, we already said no cohorts, maybe other facilitators. Uh, yes, okay. Well, good. Um, and this is Planet. It's more about resources. The quest was talking about explore the journey. No, sorry. Explore the how stewardship and resources flow together. So this is about mapping and honoring natural spaces like Canet. So there will be some mapping or where we can, start this prototype. Hybrid self-sustain and sponsoring resource model. I think, okay, let's vote quickly on this. So mapping spaces, yes. And hybrid self-sustain and sponsoring. Okay, design a resource-based value exchange system. It's not only money-based, but giving value to the intangibles and other contributions. Okay, good, guys. Congratulations. There is level of coherence in this room. Before we wrap up, this is an open invitation. If the call we felt at Canet is still alive in you and you sense resonance or enough curiosity to explore further the progress we've made with this exercise, this is an open invitation to keep momentum and co-create a self-organized founding vessel. Okay? A deep feeling of gratitude for being here, for being part of this amazing group. Um, um, Wait a second, something is up. Sorry. And again, thank you for even stay longer than we programmed. The next steps is keeping this momentum, keeping on going. This founding vessel is about continuation. There is a reason what everything happens, and there is a reason why we are reconnected. So, are we ready? The checkout is just one word. So you can just check out with one word and keep on with your beautiful lives. Yeah, those who are actually feeling this curiosity or resonance, I'll make a follow up because again, this today it was just to have a flavor. There are a lot of I understand there might be still a lot of questions and things that we need to do together. So for those who are actually feeling it, there will be a continuation, a follow-up call and a follow-up way to keep this in place and alive. What are you proposing, Paola? Okay, Paola is proposing something, guys. No. Spontaneous voting. Paola is saying who wants to have another call and keep on building up these circles. Let's vote. Paola, please help me out. So everybody now here is saying yes. Okay, so we got this founding vessel alive. Thank you so much. The FOG.